Town Hall Academy, episode 47.
Basically, we look at every car, and if our oil change sticker is not in that windshield, it gets our oil change sticker before it leaves. Now, what we do is we match the mileage that it's due for, put it in there, and we educate the customer. And we just let them know, hey, we want to be your car care guys. We want to be your one-stop shop for everything. We also do oil changes. We changed out your window sticker because welcome to the family. You found your new home for automotive repair and maintenance. And go ahead and pull out your cell phone. Let's go ahead and get you on the calendar for your next service.
Welcome, automotive aftermarketers, to a Remarkable Results Radio Town Hall Academy. Listen to learn just one thing from today's episode on your journey to remarkable results.
Welcome, automotive aftermarket professionals, to the Town Hall Academy, episode 47, as we discuss 21 tips to get an edge over the competition. And this is part 2. Hey, in part 1, we were in Town Hall Academy, episode 28. And there you'll also find some great ideas to improve your unique business proposition. Anytime you can pick up a great idea, call it a bonus day. Carm Capriato here, thanking Jasper Engines and Transmissions for their support of the Town Hall Academy. Jasper has over 2,000 associates, 3 manufacturing facilities, 2 distribution centers, and 45 branch offices all across the country. They're working to produce, transport, and deliver the perfect product. What they do best is keep customers happy. This Town Hall Academy panel brings it home with some great ideas, some you've heard before or have already maybe even implemented. The key to this knowledge trough is to be sure you pick at least one idea and implement it. You know, implementation is always that key to moving your business forward. Hey, joining me for this academy is Todd Westerland, CEO of Kukui, Jeremy O'Neill, President and Lead Sales Trainer for AdvisorFix and shop owner of Freedom Automotive in Hesperia, California, and also shop owner Mark Goldsmith from Mark's Independent Service in Chatsworth, California. They were on part 1, and now they're back for part 2. Find the show notes and, yes, all 21 tips, plus the bonuses from today and my guests' extended bios, all at remarkableresults.biz/A047. There you'll also find the repurposed webcast video of our live broadcast. 2 engagement tips for you. Join the podcast social network like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Join the Insider Newsletter Brigade and get the free listening app. Find all links to all of these engagements on the website at remarkableresults.biz/social. And thanks for being here. Your learning curve never sounded so good. This repurposed podcast of the live Town Hall Academy Forum makes it easier for anyone that does not have the time to catch the live forum. That's the power of podcasting, the digital on-demand audio broadcast. Now listen to Todd Westerland, Jeremy O'Neill, and Mark Goldsmith, and 21 tips on how to get an edge over the competition. Part 2. Mark, easy appointment making with barcodes on our lube stickers. I love that.
Yeah, we got these from Raymac, and when the customers come in at a certain month, we just put on their windshield and supposed to come in back, in 6 months' time. So there's a little barcode. If they want to make an appointment, just put your phone up there, and they can just go right to their window sticker and make an appointment, and it works really good.
Is it a QR code?
Yeah, it's a QR code.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it. A QR code.
And yeah, you just buy enough for the year, how many cars are coming in, you just put it every 6 months out every time they come in, like that. If you got a car that needs fast oil change, you put one out 3 months out, like that.
So I come to your place, the sticker's on my car. Are you reminding me, hey, if you need to get in touch with us in any way, just scan the lube sticker?
Exactly. We tell everybody that if you have an issue or anything like that, just scan it, or it goes right to our website. It does everything. So it's pretty good. So
good idea.
It really works good.
Good idea.
Yes.
Thank you for that. We got, and by the way, we have 21 and some bonuses of great little tips like this, which it's maybe an edge over the competition, but I also think it makes you, a more complete shop. Todd, you brought this idea to us back in August because you were out on the road. You visited back then 640 some shops, in your road caravan. How many are you up to now?
We crossed over 900, and the van is in Denver right now. We'll finish 1,000 within a 365-day period.
Wow. Very, very, very aggressive plan.
Good times.
Good for you. Number 2 here goes to you, Todd. have the history of the shop displayed in some way. One shop you visited had a full museum that builds pride in being a client.
Yeah, that was Wilhelm Automotive in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. And their core location has a full museum. It was amazing to see the different shops. And, they've been around since, I believe, was the 40s, maybe actually the 30s. And locally, California, motoring specialist up in Vacaville, they take an aerial photo of the shop over, they're doing it every year, every 2 years. But it was just really, as I looked at it, there's just a sense of pride of this has been here for a while. They know some things. So I like that.
Me too. And it brings up the thought in my mind of legacy. I've been interviewing some people that have been in the industry a lot of years. There's a lot of wisdom to share. And to see some of our family businesses that have been in second, third generation, it's a great idea. It's a great. I mean, people may even have the old oil cans with the metal top spot on it.
Yeah,
that's cool to look at.
It really was. It really was.
From glass and metal to plastic, right? Hey, here's something I contributed to the list. This came last time. We never got a chance to put it out there. It came from Bill Hill out in Ohio. He has an outdoor lock box with a 4-digit code to drop off the loaner keys and to pick up your vehicle if it's after hours. I think it's a great idea. You guys got any comments on that? Have you seen? You've seen that a lot of places.
Absolutely. I love that idea. I mean, as a service advisor, we push to create the sales, and sometimes getting things done at the last minute when you're ready to go home and spend some time with family. You don't want to wait till 7 or, that customer tells you, I'll be down in 5 minutes, and it's 4 hours later. They're still not there. So those are great automated tools that help. I've got a friend down in San Diego. He has 6 different boxes, and they'll text the code over to the customer. The keys are in it. Very easy to change the codes out. Really secure. It works out really well.
So you do the transaction over the phone. They just come and pick up the car and go.
Absolutely. All the paperwork's in the car. The car's ready to go, and out they go.
All about convenience. I love it. Mark, text messaging capabilities to stay in constant contact with your client.
Well, a lot of people are doing that. We always, calling's really good about telling when, what's going on, what time it's, where we're at with the car and what time it will be done. And it really helps the customer a lot because they can arrange their day and everything. It works really well how it works. It's just, I know there's a lot of information companies out there doing that, and we're looking into them right now. In fact, we're going to talk to you about Jeremy, about your company too. But I think it'll free her up for some more time. But she's constantly doing that, and people are really happy with that. So it's a text messaging really, it helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll follow up on that. And one of the things when I'm writing service at the counter, when I use our software and our program, and it's not my company. I love it and I promote it. It's phenomenal. Chris Cloutier developed it. Wonderful guy. He's been on the podcast before. And there's a number of companies that do this. I look at automating communication as much as I possibly can. So when we move a car from check-in to diagnosing, customer gets an automated text message. So within the first 2 hours of your car being here, you've been proactively communicated 3 times from our shop. And during the transaction, you've got 7 to 8 automated text messages that go out. And if you do the math on that, the text message literally takes 3 seconds to do. Okay, I'm going to click this box, move the car over. For me to call 12 customers would take literally 24 to 36 minutes to leave a voicemail, which customers don't want. So it saves me between 30 minutes to 2 hours a day by automating my outgoing communication. And if you look at how we've developed so many 5-star reviews at Freedom Auto Repair, it's all developed around this communication where the customer's constantly in the loop and they know what's going on.
I need to get a survey. I'd love to see a survey on the customer reaction to this. I love the fact that they may get 6 to 7 or 8 texts as their vehicle goes through the flow. Is it overkill, guys, or is it just the right amount?
Depends on how you set it up. You've got to get a customer who's engaged in it. Now, understand, we deliver the information the way the customer wants it. One of the questions we ask every customer in initial write-up is, hey, Carm, how do you prefer to be? What's your preferred method of communication today? Do you want a phone call, a text, an email, or do you want an in-person sales presentation? What would you like? That way, we're delivering the information the way that the customer wants it. If they don't want the text, they don't get it. We opt them out of it. And you're right. We get 10% of the time. We'll send that first text out and there's question marks that come back from the customer like, what is this? Well, you didn't pay attention when you dropped your car off, right?
Right.
So, yeah, you're right. There are some customers that won't want it, but you've got to deliver the information the way the customer wants it today.
They communicate. You just got to tell them, and they agree to opt in or opt out, and they prefer text over email. A lot of them do. Like I would say 75% want text other than emails.
Listen, I love where we are with technology, but so much of it, I think we can all agree to it. Here I'm talking to a guy who's the president and CEO of a technology company. The fact of the matter is we have to understand it. And so many times we only understand a portion of it. And I think to your point, Jeremy, which I think is really, what are all these texts? Yeah, you weren't paying attention. Well, no, the message didn't get through somehow.
Right.
And, we're all guilty. We're all guilty.
Well, and the last thing I'll say on this, and one of the other points we're going to talk about a little bit later on is emerging technologies. When you look at the digital sales process, the reason I bought Freedom Auto Repair this year was to really test this stuff out. And what I'm finding is we have a hybrid sales model now, which is a good part of the old school where the customer wants that relationship. They want to trust you. They want to deal with that trusted advisor. And if you go completely digital, you're going to cost yourself money. You're going to have a decrease in ARO. You're going to have customers that pick and choose what they want. They don't understand the complexity of proper maintenance and taking care of their car rights. So we can't go 100% digital. We're not going to have a kiosk that replaces the service advisor anytime soon because we're still human beings. So we've got to blend the best of the digital world with the old school rapport building, make eye contact, give your customer a high five or a hug. It's a hybrid system right now.
Let me share that today's episode that went out with Dutch Silverstein. And Dutch says you got to have customers for life. Consumers become customers, become clients. And I guess all the digital is great to have, but if you don't lose sight that just about every place on the back of a computer terminal, on a plaque in the break room, you have the words customers for life. I don't think then the digital gets a little, it doesn't get so cloudy when you know the digital is a tool in your arsenal of creating customers for life. It's still about the customer. And like you say, their best method. If your customer has a vehicle they like, they shouldn't have to get rid of it because the engine, transmission, or differential failed. Because you and your customer know the vehicle maintenance, there's no reason they can't keep it on the road. Depreciation, license, insurance, interest, add them all up and they'll probably total more than it would cost to install a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. Personal finances only go so far. Daily living expenses, college for the kids, and, as we all hope, retirement. So before your customer rushes out to buy a new or a newer used vehicle because their engine or transmission has failed, contact Jasper and find out how a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions can extend the life of your customer's present vehicle for an amount much less than the higher expenses that come with a vehicle trade. Give their vehicle a new lease on life with Jasper. Jeremy, coming right to you, look at the oil change sticker on every car. And if it's yours, and if yours isn't there, change it and put your own on the windshield. Ah, yes, switcheroo.
Absolutely. I was so excited. I did a Facebook video on this week, and it was one of the funnest videos I've shot all year. Going to Volkswagen Jetta, and the car had come in like 2 weeks before, and I was going to do it, and I forgot to change out the sticker, and she left. I was like, darn, I missed that opportunity. Well, her car comes back, and it's still got the competitor's oil change sticker in there. All right, I'm going to do this. So basically, we look at every car, and if our oil change sticker is not in that windshield, it gets our oil change sticker before it leaves. Now, what we do is we match the mileage that it's due for, put it in there, and we educate the customer, and we just let them know, hey, we want to be your car care guys. We want to be your one-stop shop for everything. We also do oil changes. We changed out your window sticker because welcome to the family. You found your new home for automotive repair and maintenance. And go ahead and pull out your cell phone. Let's go ahead and get you on the calendar for your next service. Now, this is where the magic happens. Having the customer pull up their phone and get in their calendar where they put us on the appointment. So, hey, Carm, your next oil change is due February 9th. Do you have an opening on that day in your calendar? Most customers will be like, yeah, I'm open. Well, cool. Go ahead and put Freedom Auto Repair there at 8 o'clock. Now I just beat everything else in their life right here on their phone. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I love the fact that when they go somewhere else, I want to find out why. Why did you go to that other shop? Why were we not able to earn that transaction? Were we not convenient enough? Did we not give you the appointment time that you want? Or do we take too long on our services? So whatever I can get information out of that, the advisor needs to get that back to the shop owner so we can make the marketing decisions that we need to.
Mark, what do you think of that tactic?
We've been doing that for quite a while, but you're taking a little farther, Jeremy. When they come in, we do some service. We find a problem on a car, and we see that competitor sticker on there. We automatically do it. We tell the customer, and they're good with it because they're coming back with us. But the cell phone, I love the idea of asking the calendar, pull your cell phone out for your date. I haven't done that yet, but we're going to start.
I would think that if you didn't tell the customer, I think there's a breach of some ethics or integrity right there. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yeah, we tell all the customers.
Well, it's the same thing of the shops that swap out license plate frames without telling the customer about it, and how upset customers can be with the license plate frames. And I've had long conversations with shop owners about having permission. Seth Godin wrote a really great book about 10 years. Baby. Yeah, permission-based marketing. Absolutely, it's what it's all about.
Carm, I think that's a great future class. Is legalities of all the different technologies and things we can do within the shop. So as an example, we are talking about the text message, and I was kind of quiet, but I've been researching all the different text messaging laws in every single state. They're all different. They're not the same. The laws as far as how you get permission, I've seen shop owners in their shop go, well, I'll just use my cell phone. I'm just going to sit here and text message the customer their vehicle's ready. Woo-hoo-hoo! That is a major lawsuit. That is completely illegal. And every single time you do that, there's a huge fine that is associated with that. So same thing with the license plate frames. I didn't know about that. Even email, there's certain ways as far as you have to have an opt-out. In text message, you have to have an opt-in. And legally now, too, some states want a paper opt-in. Meaning, if you're going to text message me, it doesn't matter what system you're using out there, if I physically do not sign it, a paper that says it, which is crazy because we're all heading in the direction of paperless shop. I mean, seriously? It's really wild. And other ones almost have no law. It's almost like, if they say, okay, text away, So that could be a really good future
Thank you
class.
very much. It's a great point to bring up. I think we're all heading down so fast a tunnel of technology, and I guess the legislators are hovering around us saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, it's not about gaining revenue. Is it? Are they legislating us to how we? Is it really about texting while driving, or is it other issues?
Oh, it's just actually, you take a look at some of the major lawsuits that have happened.
Right?
Privacy.
It's privacy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really, people are bored.
It's privacy. Mark, next one to you. Free headlight cleaning on big jobs.
Well, we surprise the customer when they're spending anywhere from $2,500 to $4,000 in these cars. We don't say a word about their headlights, and we clean them. It doesn't take that long. The technician, we got it down, and they love it. I mean, they come up, they just look at their car. Of course, it's clean. They look at their headlights. Oh my gosh, would you put new headlights in our car? I said, no, we just clean them for you because you came in and you did a lot of work on your car, or make sure you remember us, and that really works really well. It takes about 10, 15 minutes to do it that way. We got it down pretty well. So what's the big? It may sometimes 20. It depends on there. So it really works well.
All right. Free headlight cleaning. Number 7, create a cool shirt. This is yours, Todd, and put the year on it. They can bring in the shirt in the next year and get a new one. Keep them coming back.
Everywhere you go now, even across the street from where I live, there's a restaurant chain called Lazy Dog. And I noticed they had their kind of new branding shirts for 2017. There was the year on there. I consistently see that really, as we build these brands, people really love the brands and they really like to wear the shirts. And so, as a shop, as you have that amazing brand like these two gentlemen do, and you have a shirt that you can give out and do a limited run to keep the cost down, just kind of settle in. Here's what the budget's going to be. Here's the only amount I'm going to do. And then as you hand them out, you can tell the consumer, maybe even creatively give them out to the people that don't come back as often, and say, if you come back next year and give me the shirt back, or come back in this year, your next service, you can get the 2018. I look back at our shop, and we had done that, and it was weird that I'd be wearing a shirt that was like 5 years old. The years were on it, but I really liked the shirt. The branding was cool. So
you can never have enough shirts, huh?
Yep.
Never can have enough. Good idea. Thank you, Mark. Discounted car rentals.
Yeah, we always give discounted car rentals on all the big jobs too. We got a place, they pick them up. We take care the first day if we have to. And then if the customer can't get anywhere, we can't Uber them. They want a car for the day, we give them that car too. And it's $23, $24 for a day when you're doing a major job. And people love that too. And but if it goes more than one day, it's their choice. They can't get it. They have to pay for the second day. But they love it. We're splitting the bill with them. It really helps a lot on the cars.
Offering a solution.
Yes, that's how you did. Everybody, all you guys do the same thing. You got to get the customer. They're getting happy. That's why we do Uber and Lyft, and they really love that too. It really works out great.
Take number 9, free Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah, in the shop, we give them free Wi-Fi because we have a lot of millennials come here when they're dropping their cars off. Some guys don't want to leave. They want to stay up there. We have we don't have an ice box. We talked this before, but there's only soda and water. There's no power drinks in there. But they see we cater them truly well. You got the coffee, water, and soda up there, and we got a heater up there. When it's cold, it's rare. But then we give them used our Wi-Fi just like Starbucks.
And the secret and why that's valuable is that there's no such thing as unlimited data, as much as everyone tells us that there is. Am I right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And so they really want to use some of your bandwidth.
Right, exactly. That's why they clip on. Everybody always asks. I got a little sign on the wall, and they can go right to it.
And what if we even put a little twist on that because you can change the name of your actual login there, and you said something like, leave us a review.
Good idea. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, and keep in mind too, you got the market. You can get marketing out of it. I know Yelp is really pushing businesses right now to promote free Wi-Fi, and they'll drive. And I know there's certain parts of the country that hate Yelp. So if you don't like Yelp, just tune out right now. But it's fine. If you want more Yelpers to your business, make sure you've got that turned on in your Yelp business account that you've got free Wi-Fi, and it will drive those people in. Absolutely.
Love it, guys. Thank you very much. Number 10, this goes to you, Jeremy. Ask every happy customer to share their experience in the world with a 5-star review. I think you just mentioned that.
Yeah, now make sure it's happy customer, not every customer. We got to pay attention to the words there, right?
Did I say happy?
You do not want... Well, you did. Yeah, I'm just pointing that out. You don't want every customer to share their experience with the world. There are some times that we drop the ball. For instance, this morning, we had an issue where we had 6 cars broken into. So I'll be a little bit more selective on who I asked to share their experience with the world. Now, here's the thing. When you look at most of the sites, they don't want you having a kiosk, or if you look at the IP address where customers are leaving their reviews at, it's best not to have it done at your shop, the location there. And we don't want to particularly ask for a 5-star review. We don't want to reward a 5-star review. But what I do, it's organic. You know, when customers come in, it starts from the moment they come into the shop. How'd you hear about us? I found you on Google. Oh my gosh, you found us on Google? Wow, we have our work cut out for us because you've seen those reviews, right? All right, get ready for your 5-star experience because here it goes. Hey guys, we got a Google person here. We got to give them that 5-star experience. Now, that starts there. That sets the stage. At the end of the experience, after we're done with our transaction, hey, Carm, I hope you were really satisfied with your experience. And if we did deliver that 5-star experience, please share your experience with the world. That's the parting shot right there. And you'll see those reviews come up organically. And I've purposely, I don't have automated review get emails or texts. I don't have that turned on right now because I want to drive things organically to see what the volume is of customers that were so impressed with our service that they were compelled to go share their story with the world. And that's what we want. We want that passion. We want that energy. We want that inspiration. Right? That's what we want customers to say. I want to drive those organic reviews because there's more verbiage in it. The customers share their story and it ranks higher. So I look at our Yelp site. We have a lot of, I get complaints from shop owners all the time that Yelp buries our reviews. I'm like, I don't care what they do. I'm going to drive so many reviews that they're going to have to put my stuff up. And if you get the customer that shares their story, those reviews don't get pushed away, because the algorithm picks that stuff up. So the organic review is what I want to drive. And it all starts, you have to ask. Teach your shuttle drivers this. Teach your technicians this. Teach your service advisors this. Shop owners, you've got to do it. Every person that has that personal connection with the customer. Hey, if you were satisfied with your experience, please share your experience with the world. And if you weren't, let me know so we can fix it, right? We want that experience shared with the world.
Todd, have a mascot. Could be your golden retriever, could be that amazing restored Chevy truck.
Yes, if you think of take a look at Dave Toole's website. He has a truck that is just it's so iconic to his shop now. It's become the mascot. He actually has another car that I also feel is also a mascot, but very huge. Take and we have a moment of silence for Mary Kimmett's wonderful lab that was just amazing to greet everybody, and for so many years was just the mascot. I mean, I would watch that. That dog was hilarious. It would just get up, it would walk about 3 feet forward, sit there and get pets, then walk back and lay down. And I'm like, oh, that's a life. That is the life. Sonny Sunoco, on the East Coast, they have amazing. I absolutely love their dog. It was just he was such a character. Yes, you have to have the right dog, okay, with the right temperament, okay, to be in the shop, but done properly. I think I've seen a couple cats, but that's pretty rare. It's more of kind of the dog that's right there. And, you think of it, then you put it on a shirt, then you match that marketing into it. And what's another thing too is we're thinking of kind of marketing. We do want to bond with the animal owners who do really value, pets. And that also shows a humanity in the shop, which I think is important.
Pet friendly is huge. I don't know. I know it's more than 50-60% of people own pets. And pet friendly is a great marketing tool. You're right, Todd. Hey, thanks for that tip. Next one, Jeremy, goes to you. Uphold your standards. Wow. I mean, what a heavy discussion here. But everything we do is being watched by customers and employees. We will be tested to make tough decisions, and people will watch how you react to those tough decisions. Believe in your standards and live by your code of conduct.
Yeah, this happened to me last week, and I remember I was out in the shop and I was talking to one of my technicians about how we were going to approach a certain job, and he tested me. He asked me a question about, well, do we really have to put that part on? And I know what he was doing. He was looking at if I'm driven by profit or if I'm really looking at the good of the customer, doing the repair right. And there's a phrase that I hate in shops. I absolutely hate this phrase. It's good enough. Nothing is good enough. I love the phrase, if it's not perfect, it's not right. And we do perfect work. And I remember not only that moment when he asked me that question, I turned around. My other two technicians were watching us. And I said, you know what? These guys are testing my leadership ability right now, and they're really testing my ethics. Where are my ethics? And basically it happens, in businesses all across the country where they do just good enough and they don't do the job right. And a lot of times I'll see shops that deal with fleet, warranty repairs differently. They'll fleece the car and they wouldn't ask that to a retail customer. And then at the same time, a customer or a customer's car versus a friend's car or a family member, they'll do the inspection differently and they won't recommend shocks or struts at 80,000 miles. And no, it's my friend's car. Don't put the struts on there. It doesn't need them. Well, then why are you recommending them to your customer? So we have this code of conduct that we should live by and uphold our industry standards. But every single thing that you do is being watched, and your customers are also going to watch it as well. So just understand that you're being watched. Everything that you do, every decision you make may seem inconsequential. It may seem inconsequential, but if it's not perfect, it's not right. And you've got to live by your code of conduct.
I guess all of that goes without saying, but I'm really glad we included it here because every once in a while we need one of those reminders. Thank you. Todd, number 13. I just think this is so cool. I really do. Invest in nice pens and that last and work. I love it.
I'm gonna give you some examples here. Okay, this one right here. I love this pen. This was a limited run. It writes perfect. I have a couple different examples over the years of different ones that this is more of a ballpoint pen. This one here was okay. This one wasn't my favorite. Plasticky, I don't know. It was all right. And take this one right here. Okay, this is cardboard on there. So here's the thing. This pen has been writing for 4 years. It writes perfect. It is my favorite pen. I have about 4 of them sitting next to me, and I'm running out because they discontinued this particular one. I had a transmission shop, 1 year in Las Vegas, give me one of his pens. And he said, that pen will last you probably 8 years. And I still have it. It's a beautiful pen. It writes absolutely amazing. This is why Jeremy is on the nice list there. Think about this, because that pen also is another reflection of that quality that goes forward, just like he was just saying. So if I'm still using your pen and it's still writing 2 years from now, kind of says the work you're doing on my car is gonna be the same type of quality. You know, have we had this one? I got to cover up the hotel there, but you know, these things last, I don't know, a couple times, then they're dead. You know, they just run out of ink. And I mean, okay, maybe for a hotel that's too much. I don't know. It is expensive, but you know, we'll have to keep looking for the big picture down the road. It's all the whole pieces.
It's a great point. I think your message here is, if you're going to give something to someone, make it last, make it of good quality. Don't make it tchotchke cheap.
Very good.
Got it.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I never realized, Mark, is that this next one was actually almost in the same category as the mascot. And I never put them together, but I love it. Dog biscuits and water bowls. But those are for customers.
Right. They're all for customers. No. So, but we since
customers' dogs, excuse me.
Right, exactly. Well, the customers eat them too sometimes. Good protein, but sometimes I eat them. But
read the label.
Since we remodeled our bathroom, thanks to Colleen, we have a lot of new things. We have a lot of customers come in to keep their dogs happy. We have a water bowl, and we give the dogs biscuits too. And the customers really love it. We take pictures with the dogs and the customer, and they love that even better when they get a picture taken too and put it on our website or even our Facebook page. They really like it a lot.
Good tip. Thank you. Thank you. Number 15, Jeremy, don't hide from emerging tech. You talked about this already. Or new ways to gain eyeballs and customers. Yelp, connected car, and new services.
Yeah, and I think, you know, just this year a lot, the feedback I've gotten from a lot of people I've talked to is, hey, Jeremy, what are you doing for marketing for the shop? And, you know, I'll come back and say, look, I'm doing two things. We're doing a lot of things, but two marketing channels, Google and Yelp. Oh, Yelp doesn't work. Yelp sucks. Okay, understand that the world is changing. And as soon as you put your opinion on something, you block yourself to new opportunities. So just be open. I mean, try it out. It may not work for your area. Yeah, there may be 2 people in your entire town that use Yelp, but guess what? They might be the wealthiest people in your town that want to bring you a ton of business. And if you think that Yelp sucks, they're not going to come in. So I'm not here to promote Yelp at all. It's just these emerging technologies and the mindset. It's the mindset that goes with it. We're human beings. We resist change. Be open to new and emerging technologies. Because I got news for you guys. And Todd and Mark, you guys will probably agree with this. The changes we're going to see in the next 12 months, 24 months are going to dwarf what we've seen in the last 5 years. So we've got to be open and ready to change.
Absolutely.
You're so right about that. I have just sensed that in some of the forums that I'm in. And I guess my best piece of advice is don't lock your thinking. Don't become hardened in any one area, because what you think today may be so different tomorrow, because what you were opinionated about as a company or a service could drastically move into a completely different arena, do a 180, reinvent themselves, and all of a sudden now you're not going to eat crow, but you basically have to, I think, be more open, like you said. Stop being so closed-minded. Thanks. That's the lesson right there, Jeremy. Thank you.
Yes.
Mark, drop off vehicles to guests' houses that can't coordinate a ride with their busy schedule.
Yes, it worked. I have a couple. I had one this week. He's a director. He was shooting a movie. His car broke down, had it towed here, and he pleaded with me. He lives all the way in Venice. So me and my wife, she followed me all the way to Venice to drop his car off. And I tell you, he is so appreciative of that. He called and thanked us up and down. First, he gave us a bad time saying his car broke down on the way to work, but that was a fun thing. He was but he called us. He could not believe we did that for him, because he's a great customer. He spends a lot of money, and it took us 2 hours out of my day, but it was kind of nice to get away from the shop for a couple hours and make the day go better.
2 hours? I mean, 2 hours one way or an hour?
Oh, 1 hour. It took an hour up there, an hour back. The traffic in LA is fun, so especially to Venice.
Yeah, LA. Wow.
We do that a lot. And we got a lot of customers in Agora. We do the same thing for them. If they're stuck and they need their car for family stuff and they're stuck doing something, they have only one car, we do that all the time for them. They really like it.
Good advice. Good advice. Thanks so much, Mark. Number 17, Todd, I'm going to give this to you. Give away a free car wash coupon. This way the liability of not scratching a car if you actually, wash it yourself.
Yeah, so at my shop, we used to wash every single car, clean the windshields on the outside, clean the windshields on the inside. And it's every single car, okay? We had 2 people doing it. It was actually one of my first jobs, was just washing a car properly. I learned so much from that because I learned how to drive every single car there was. Great thing to start before I was tech for 15 years. And then on top of that, I'd knock the rear view mirrors off. Just go to clean the window, knock that thing off. And I'm like, oh no. So I had the glue kit to get those things back on properly. Well, we had a new guy start at the shop. He went and washed the car, and his dad didn't teach him the way our dads did, how we washed that car perfectly. And he used something abrasive, and it looked like it was a Brillo pad. I mean, it was just scratches everywhere. Just took out the whole paint job. And that actually was kind of the end of the deep washes. We started sending them down the street. So when I was in John Epstein's shop down, John, so he had this great thing where they have a free car wash coupon they can give out. And the way they do it, that they use it as a sales tool also for the people at the counter. Maybe kind of Jeremy, I think we got 6 of those we got to hand out, right? Boy, today, there could be some ways that we're able to kind of work that. So that I thought was pretty interesting, that it puts a liability on somebody else.
So is it the basic wash, or do you give the luxury car wash away?
I think it was a basic wash. This is pretty expensive, but still, even for a basic down there, I might then just pay for the premium car wash. But in my mind, it still came from the shop. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a wonderful gift.
It is.
My car's getting dirty. I got to get down there to get my car serviced, so I can get that free, car wash coupon. It's serious. Yeah, people go, I waited to bring my car in because it's so dirty because I knew you guys had washed it. I'm like, oh.
And a lot of the car wash businesses, when you go talk to them, if you buy in bulk, you can get a car wash for $2 or $3 if you're buying 100 or 200 a month. And wow. I remember when I had my shop in Flagstaff, there was this Ford Windstar. I took it down, and the car wash was automated, and it had a high pressure washer. And I didn't see that there was a little dime size spot on the hood that was flake.
Oh.
That and I was standing outside the car when this thing hit. The water hit, and there's blue flakes of paint everywhere. And the entire hood got basically sandblasted. And I go back to the shop, dripping with water, blue specks all over. And the customer goes, Jeremy, we're getting rid of the car anyways. It's not a big deal. That's the other thing. I've got to paint this van. This is so bad.
Oh, my. Good story. Thank you so much for that. The number 18, interesting, Todd. Loaner cars and shuttle cars are all for sale.
So at my shop, we specialized in Toyota Honda at that time. So we look back in the early 90s, you'd have a 91 Camry that was maybe a 4-cylinder stripped down model. And for whatever reason, the customer decided there was just too much for them to fix it. And we'd pick a couple of those up. And literally right in front of the passenger seat there, it would say, this vehicle is for sale for this much. And the reason why I put that one down is I was driving the consumer home one day, and he said, you know what? I like this car. I need to get my daughter a car. I'm going to buy this car right now. And he bought the loaner car right then and there. Let me tell you the bad side of that. That was the last one of our loaner cars. And we had this old Toyota Corolla wagon that was this magenta orange thing that was just, and so every time we'd lose the last good loaner, you'd say, go get the magenta Corolla. And I'm like, oh no, go get the wagon, cruise around in that thing. So, hey,
it's not a bad idea though, spinning those cars, and you could probably make a couple of bucks at it, right?
Yeah, he really did. He always tried to always have 3 on the lot at the same time. Sometimes it was up to 5, and it really wasn't that much work. It sounds like a lot of work to get your license, park them, all of those things. But we keep the loaners kind of moving. Okay, get the flow going. It's really good.
Great tip. Thank you very much. We sometimes we see our loaner cars, but we don't even think of selling them, and we just want to run them. And another great feature of loaner cars, let me chime in here, is that if you can get those cars up to 200,000 plus miles, and somebody does take that loaner car and go and says, this car is in beautiful, beautiful shape for that many miles. Could my car do that? Yeah, so, it's another great way to keep the loaner car in really good shape. Make sure it's a high miles car, because I think that proves the quality work and that whole maintenance piece that which is where we're headed, and we have to head as a greater percentage of our volume in maintenance. Okay, Mark, you are up next. Guest loyalty program with rewards cards that they receive cash back on sales.
Yes, they receive. Well, actually, they put it towards their services. They get 2% or 3% on their total bill without tax, of course, and batteries and tires. But they get a percentage back, and a lot of people keep them. And they come in. They save them. They come back in a year. Then they get a free service. It comes out almost to a free service. They come in and they spend so much money. They put it towards their last service. It could be $60, $70, $80 sometimes. I had one customer save up to $240. Took him a couple of years, but he got he got a free brake job. It was really nice. He really liked that a lot. So we give him a credit card with their name on it.
My system think comes into play here, and we know how it works in the really big companies. It's seamless. They scan a barcode or they scan have you gotten that sophisticated? Yeah,
they have a code. They can go onto our website. They can go under it. On their code to that on our website, they have a code. They can go on there and see how much money they have on their loyalty card.
Basically, you bought a loyalty card program.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. And a lot of times what I do too, if I want to give a gift, I'll put $25 on the card and give it to the customer. If I see a customer I've talked to, I keep a couple in my wallet, and they have a car that we're interested in working on. I say, hey, why don't you come in? Here's $25 for first service on my credit card. They really like it a lot, and it works.
I like that.
Yeah.
Have you found a more loyal customer? Have you found an increase of referrals?
Yes, it comes out really good. It does work. Yes. When I talk to people and I run them, I talk to people and I go to the parking lot. I walk in the park. They go in their car. I said, "Hey, you drive a Volvo?" Actually, I said, "Come on." I say, "Hey, where do you get a service? Are you happy?" Then they say, "Oh, maybe I'm taking them to the dealer." I say, "Hey, why don't you try us? We work on those cars. Here's a coupon for $25." And sometimes it works. Not all the time. Yeah, you'll get 2 out of 5 or 6, 10. That works really well.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you. Number 20, Todd, donate a car to a needy family.
This is something that, we again, I've seen around the United States. I also have experienced it myself. And you really, let's everybody that we all know out there in the industry, we're always doing things from the goodness of our heart. There is a lot of benefits that do come with this, getting the city involved, getting the TV and radio, local channels also involved. Getting also the shop behind it. And there's nothing that's just such a great feeling to help. And when your technicians also are involved and see that you help somebody, it really keeps their buy-in, and they love the culture of the shop and all of those things. So there is that sweet spot car out there. It probably changes every year. Pretty good one we can get a hold of. Get it fixed up. We feel pretty good and pretty safe about that. It's something we could help a family out there. And we did a Dodge Caravan. It lost its transmission back in the day. That's pretty common. How to put a new water pump on it. We all know that one with those 5 bolts there on the front. Put one of those on. That's what we did. Changed the oil, cleaned the car and detailed it. Had some wood paneling on it, and we gave it to a needy family. And I mean, it's so heartbreaking to see somebody's look in their eyes where they're going, "You're just giving us this? Like, what do you want from us?" Well, I don't understand. You're just giving it. It makes no sense. It's like, Well, if you brought it back for an oil change in the future, that'd be kind of cool. I mean,
in Buffalo this weekend, or it's today or tomorrow, there's a shop who's in concert with a veterans group that's doing this identical thing. So there's so much of that out there. You're right, Todd. And again, I think it goes back to the image of the industry that we're all working so hard to improve. This is how to do it. One step, one car at a time.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
that. Very good. Number 21. We're here for the 21. If we have a few more minutes,
yes.
We've got some bonuses, right? We have some bonuses here. Give me the envelope, please. Mark, this is from you. Weekend answering machine.
I worry about my customers. They do call in. I check it. I get a buzz, and I try to just calm them with their car if they have an issue or something like that. I do call them back. I don't blow them off on the weekend. I want to make sure they're happy. They know that I know about it, and they'll be taken care of. They really like it a lot. So they do get a phone back if I'm around town. Somebody does it.
I've seen some shops that have an answering service, actually, that can get back to the ownership if there's a problem.
We've talked about that too.
Yeah,
to have an answering service if there's a problem. It's not that it's very rare. I mean, it's not a lot. It's very rare, but it's kind of nice. The customer knows that you care about them to call back, and they get really relieved on that. So.
Hey, I want to do a bonus round here. Let's do some bonuses, but I want to say something. Last week our academy was on culture, revving up your culture, and I just want to say to anybody who's watching over the weekend until we put out this podcast next week. That was a really powerful, very, very important academy lesson, and I do believe it'll be in the top 20 listens of all time because it really does help not only understand what culture is, but really how to pull some levers and make it happen inside your business. We are so we can't. Some of us don't know how to touch the soft stuff. The things you cannot see. And our guys from last week just hit it out of the ballpark. By the way, next week we're doing a show on growing your fleet business, and that's going to be great. A lot of excellent topics coming up in the Academy for 2018. Bonus number 22. Once a month, this is Todd. I love this, Todd. Once a month, pay for the text to go to lunch at the busiest lunch spot in town. Make sure that no one swears, looking good, shirts tucked in. Explain it's a marketing lunch.
Well, it's firsthand experience, so I can't take the credit for it. I have to give the credit to my mentor of Mr. Ian Cook, who I worked for 15 years, and he was just always marketing. And he'd line us up, shirts tucked in, because one of the guys, Dave, didn't like to shirt in. He tucked your shirt in. Okay. He would tell us next Wednesday, you're all going out and I want hair, get your hair cut. So we're pre-warned. Also make sure the shirt that you had was, we had the outfit company come to the shop, and sometimes you have the messy shirt. So have your great shirt. He would send us always to the busiest place. And I mean, we'd go big. I can say that now because I don't work there, but I'd always get the large drink and the big double sandwich he'd be sending us because he gave us the credit card to do it. And he just said, have a great time. But guys, because there was logo on the back, logo on the front, hold the door open for people. Let people in front of you in line. Like, just go into the community and just be a great example of just being kind. And we'd go and do that. And the swearing came. So we were one town over, and somebody was dropping some swearing, and somebody heard it. We actually got in trouble for that. So he actually had to talk to us about that. Guys, come on. Don't do that. Also, be aware. And do it the first week of the month, if you can, and try to do that maybe, 11 times throughout the year. It's golden.
I want to title that something different. I want to title that Be an Ambassador. I love it. It's a great idea. I mean, it is gang marketing. I mean, just go out and be seen. Go out and be seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff. Thank
absolutely.
you. Let's do another one. Number 23, Jeremy, be the local expert. I love that.
Yeah, and there's tools that we have, and mystery shop your shop and ask some very pointed questions about, hey, I've got an 08 BMW 5 Series. It won't move. The transmission's got some issues with it. The way that you answer that question can either convert the lead or not. And if you don't know BMWs, you probably don't want that car in your shop because it's going to cost you more money to fix than you're probably going to create on it. But being the local expert is be really good at what you do. teach everybody who answers the phone and come in contact with your potential clients that you are the experts on the cars that you service. And I use tools like Identifix, AllData, the repair information. Customers are very educated today. They've got diagnostic trouble codes. They've done more research than you have by the time they've called you. So if you don't sound like you know what you're talking about, you're going to lose market share. If you typically say, well, you know, Todd, something like that, I'm going to need one of my technicians to take a look at that. Why don't you bring it on down? The customer's like, okay, really not dealing with an expert here. So if you are a service advisor, you don't have that technical knowledge, start getting the technical knowledge. Start learning about the cars that you work on and service. You don't have to become a technician, but it's easy for you to get a little bit of technical knowledge. And then be an expert at helping the customers solve their transportation issue. Hey, Todd, it sounds to me like your car is in a really bad spot. Let's do this. I can have a tow truck there in 20 minutes, get your car down to the shop. I can get you Ubered over to work right now. What's the address where you're at? Great. I've got an Uber on the way. You're on the road in 5 minutes. Leave the keys in the car. My tow truck will be there. Solve the customer's transportation. So be an expert at what you do really well and exude that confidence when you're on the phone.
Hey, thanks, man. Hey, we're almost near the top of the hour, and I want to thank you guys. We went through, some bonuses, 21 and bonuses. Great. Way back to our first, number 28, back in August, our first 21, and now right here on the Christmas weekend in 2017. And if anyone ever wants to get in touch or send a question about the show coming up, it's question. The email is question@remarkableresults.biz. Jeremy O'Neill, Mark Goldsmith, Todd Westerlund, Santa Claus. Hey, thanks so much for your contributions to the industry and to the Town Hall Academy.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time,